Okay, good morning class. How we doing? This is going to be a short video on the basics of working your calculator. I'll have some subsequent videos on getting really into solving some of the problems. Okay, so let's run through a couple of these buttons. Okay, this is your on-off button. Okay, this is your clear. This is the compute button, CPT. This is the enter button, so you're going to you'll hit, let's say, 78 and then enter. 100 and enter. This is your second function, so that will enable some of these features up top in the yellow. These cash flow, net present value, IRR, which is internal rate of return. These are very important here, the time value of money. N, interest, present value, payment, and future value. This is your plus and minus. I'll get into that in a second. And these are your basic math calculations. Okay, so here, again, time value of money. Let's clear that. Time value of money. This is what you're going to be using for the next couple of weeks. N is either number of years or number of periods. And that will make more sense later. But if we are calculating something that's 5 years, you would hit enter, 5, N. This one is your interest. So very important, when you're entering 10% interest, for example, you would hit 10 and I. You would not hit 0.10. Okay, so the I, it only accepts integers. Present value, PV. A payment, that's going to come in when we start talking about annuities. And a future value. Okay, so present value, future value. If we want to, your calculator may have come out of the box with either 2 or just no decimals at all. If you want to change your decimal places, so I have them in 4 places after the decimal place. If you would like to change that to, for example, 2, hit the second key, yellow, down here, format, and you can see DEC for decimal. If we would like to change it to 2, hit 2, enter, and then just clear. And that's 2. Let's change it back to 4. Hit the yellow key, format, that enables, of course, the format. Hit 4, enter, and then you can just clear it. Now we're back to 4. If you want to enter some negative numbers, okay, so we're going to do some calculations where you put money into the bank, so it's leaving your pocket, if you want to think of it that way. Hit 1,000 and hit this. That makes it negative. Okay. Again, if you have $1,000, you bring that to the bank to invest. 1,000. Make it negative. Okay. So here we go. The second function, the yellow key. Again, that's going to be important when we get into amortization. This BGN, okay, and PY, it's payments per year. Okay, so that will be used for a couple, PY, amortization, BGN, which is beginning. I'll get into that later. Okay, so again, let's just rephrase how we enter a number. 78, enter, clear that. 7, enter. Interest, 10, enter. Negative present value, 1,000. Make it negative. Okay. Payments, if there are no payments, just make it 0. P. And if you want to compute, we've entered NIPV, payment. So now we want to calculate the future value. Hit CPT and future value. Again, some of these things may be slightly different depending on the calculator, but if you have the calculator that we talked about, then all this should be right on. Okay, let's clear that. Next thing, cash flow, CF. That is going to, we'll get to that in a couple of weeks, but that is cash flow if you are receiving some money, but it's not consistent, meaning $100 next year, $200 the following year, $300 the following year, etc. So we'll work on some cash flows, what all that means. So that's CF, the cash flow. Next, we want to, if we are calculating annuities, and again, this will make more sense later, but just so you know where the buttons are, we're going to be using BGN. So if an annuity starts in the beginning, that's BGN. The way to enable that is hit second. This, okay, you should see the word end, second, enter, and clear. Now you'll see BGN, it's hard to see here, but BGN at the top of your screen, above the numbers, that means beginning. So that's an annuity that comes at the beginning of the cycle. If we want it to come at the end, we need to get rid of that. So hit second, go back to this, BGN, enter, second, enter. Now we'll see end and just clear. So if you do not see anything written up here, that means you're in the default mode, which is end. So again, let me just summarize that again. There's nothing up here if we want to enable the BGN, the beginning annuity. Second, payment, which enables the BGN. Second again, we're going to set. Okay, that's what that's for. Now we see BGN up at the top. If we want to get back to the default, second, payment, second, enter, end. When we get to, we want to do an effective rate. So if we want to change the interest rate, find the effective rate, there's a tab here. It's conversion. So again, we would hit second. Okay. Now this will show three fields, if you will. Nominal, hit the down arrow. Effective, down arrow. Compounding periods per year, C/Y, and back to nominal. So let's do that again. Second, okay. Nominal, effective, C/Y. Those are the only three within that function. Okay. Now last, PY, payments per year. Okay, that's a yellow key. So what that means is if we are going to pay the bank is going to pay us twice a year, 4 times a year, etc. So second PY, if you want to change that to 4, hit 4, enter, clear. Okay. If we want to change it back to 1, which would be the default, second PY, 1, enter, clear.